HG lifestyle. It's a mindset. Make sure you adopt it, baby. What's going on, everybody? Welcome once again. It's the HG Lifestyle Show. And again, guys, before we get started, I want to keep saying thanks. You guys have been amazing. You guys have been awesome. But keep sharing it. Keep telling your friends. Keep telling people. As always, I'm joined by my co-host, Matty Leverage. Say what up.
How's everybody doing out there?
Hope everybody's good. Well, guys, we wanted to talk about something today that is a huge benefit. It's been a huge benefit to both me and Matt. So we wanted to share our experiences with it and why it's so important. And basically, guys, we want to teach you the hacks of how to create shortcuts. Shortcuts are a must, but I don't mean in the cheating way where you're lying and you're stealing. We're talking about good old mentorship and seeking it and how valuable that can be. So I'm going to let Matt kind of tell you why he believes it's valuable, and I'll kind of tell you my experiences with it as well. But why don't you go ahead and start it off, Matty Leverage? Why do you think mentorship is so important?
Well, I think something that resonates with me, John, right away is a question that I ask myself all the time. What's more important, what's more valuable to me? Is it money or is it time, right? So when you go throughout your day and you look back on history of when you made good choices versus bad choices, the question is, what did you lose or what did you gain from that experience? So, when I'm comparing and I'm going throughout my day nowadays, I'm auditing my time because I want to make sure that my time being, is being put in the right, right circles, but also that my time is being implemented where I can bring value to that circle.
Right.
So I've over these last couple of years, we talked about it in the last episode, is just learning from our mistakes, and now we're able to share those experiences with our audience. And mentorship is something that I've dove deep into, and I feel like that is the ultimate shortcut.
It is.
That how the rich get richer is they pay for this information and this knowledge and these experiences that otherwise to avoid mistakes on their own.
Right.
So I think a lot of times in life we run into walls and we kind of plateau because we only know what we know.
Right.
But the real knowledge is if you can kind of stand back and listen to the other side, you gain perspective on a subject that you might not. And two of those big subjects right now that we're paying a lot of attention to is the automation of a business, because we're old school cats, of the business. So we're really trying to implement softwares and develop processes for our company, but also the crypto space is one of those exciting spaces that I think anyone out there that's claiming to be an expert in crypto, even if you have been following it for the last 10 years, it hasn't been around long enough to be considered a guru.
When it's always changing too, so
Right.
you can't be there yet. But there are people that know more than us, and that's what Matt's talking about.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. So what me and John have really prided ourselves over in the last couple of years is figuring out what mentors we resonate with the most.
Right.
We feel, the value is in the education of learning from people that have done it before us. Success leaves clues.
Right.
And those clues can save you time, and that's what is more valuable than money at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So you can go stroke a check. I don't care if it's $100,000, $1 million, but if you make 10 times that by investing that money into yourself, into self-awareness and new perspectives, then you're able to apply that knowledge. Then what's $1 million or what's 100,000, what's 10,000 for a mentorship if you're gaining 10 times further with that in the future, because you now have gained that knowledge and new perspective. So mentorship to us is a time play, right? We're saving time based on other people's experiences from learning from experts in their field. Right. And by implementing that information, we're able to give that knowledge back out to you as the audience, and that's really our goal is to utilize paying for something so we can in turn save ourselves a lot of mistakes down the road.
Yeah, no, for sure. But see, that's the biggest thing there. I know you guys probably heard, and I don't want to contradict myself because I've talked in the past about ego is a must. You got to have some ego, but when I talk about ego as a must, I'm talking about have some pride in yourself to be able to tell people fuck off when they don't believe in you. But you also have to be willing to put your pride aside and understand when there's something that you just simply you don't know. You don't know it. right? That's a good time to put your ego aside to be able to say, hey, you know what? This is a subject that I don't know about. So let me go out there and find somebody who does know about this subject so that I can apply it, right? Because what Matt's talking about is, I am an old school guy, man. I'm a guy that I can bring in revenue because I can pound the phones. I can teach people how to sell. But what I experienced in the past with my businesses is that when I wasn't around, our numbers went down. Oh, shit. I'm rapping now too, huh? When I wasn't around, our numbers went down, right?
Put it up on the wall
right? I'm about to write a song about it. But it's because it did. Why? Because I had none of my systems and processes in place. I had none of it. What was our process was make some fucking money, right? Our process was me going out on the call floor and say, what's up, guys? Where we at? Come on, get on the phone. Let's make some fucking money. Let me throw out this spiff here, spiff there. But that wasn't a process. That was not a fucking system. So when I was gone, our money was out. So I went out and I seek guidance, man. How do you apply these systems and processes? Because I'm not good at it. I'm the least organized person you'll ever fucking meet. Fuck, I didn't even believe in a motherfucking CRM until Matty Leverage sold me on one, right? I didn't, but not that I didn't believe in it, but it was just something that I didn't know about, so why confuse myself? But, we hired the right people who do know about it, and you just hire those mentors that know more than you do, because it does eventually. Now what it's going to do for me is it's going to open up my time, as Matt said, which is a lot more valuable, right? Because to me, but it takes time to get to that place where you're like, I'm down to spend 10 grand if I'm going to get 100 grand in return. It takes time to get there, but it doesn't matter if you spend 10 grand. You're not going to get 100 grand back if you don't apply the shit that you're learning. I can't tell you how many motherfuckers I see at the same events that I go to. Mm-hmm. Bro, I see the same faces every time, and these dudes are still in the same fucking position. Why? Because they just go for the rah-rah and the hype and shit.
Absolutely.
But they don't come back and start applying that shit. So it's not just seeking the mentorship, guys. It's also applying the shit that you're learning.
Absolutely. I mean, I've heard that you guys have probably heard the expression professional students, people going to school year after year after year, and they're just in school just because they're so used to that, ongoing routine, and they're not applying any of that knowledge. That's why I was never, and this isn't a knock on school, but I was never really a big believer on the school system, because it teaches you how to be a worker rather than how to be an entrepreneur and how to implement those skills. If school was geared around information that could be utilized and applied and it's applicable to today, then I just feel like the school system has just been it needs to be reevaluated on how we can take skills from the school system and apply to knowledge. And that's what mentorship is. It's a hack of life. Right. It's gaining knowledge that you don't find in normal textbooks, normal curriculum. There's an expression that says it's not who you know, but who knows you. So in reality, when you gain mentorship, you're able to leverage their friendships and their network, and becomes your network. And when that happens, you now have a front row seat with an expert that can put you in contact with people that you normally would never be able to touch. Right.
Yeah.
So taking information, utilizing that information, like Jon said, is, I'd say, probably the most important rule, because we can all learn. There's so much information. We're drowning in information, but applicable knowledge that we can actually apply is the key in being able to kind of close out the noise, and being able to say, okay, figuring out a skill set that you can actually excel in is very important nowadays with so many distractions.
Right.
I mean, courses are great, but I think there's a statistic out there that's like, I think only like 3% of people actually they buy the course, they have all the intent of going forward with the course.
Yeah. Right.
It's like that New Year's resolution, but somehow after month 1 or 2, you've already given up.
Right.
So the mentor is there to hold that bar up when you're trying to get that last rep, and it's that person pushing you to get to the gym. It's that person saying, hey, have you looked at this different perspective? I would avoid this. This is where I've learned. So it's about having that guidance that normally is not there, that you're really paying for in that mentorship,
right?
To get you to levels that you probably didn't even think were, even have the ability to be able to get to.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure. Well, look, guys, the most important part about this whole thing is, look, man, if you have a certain level that you want to reach, if you're committed, if you're driven and motivated, you eventually will get there, okay? If you're the type of person that's not willing to give up. But it may take you 10 years to get there, right? Where if you can simply find some sort of mentor who's already experienced the shit that you're experiencing, if that can eliminate 5 years, 6 years, 3 years, even a fucking year, if it can eliminate a year of the time it takes to get there, it's fucking worth it, I promise you, right? But you, again, like Matt said, I've been in the coaching and mentoring space for the last 5 years, and we even had to change our contracts and how we word it because, like Matt said, unfortunately, people will buy the mentorship, but then we can't even ever get them on the phone again, or they never even log in to consume the information. Makes no sense to me why they would buy it and then not use it. But I mean, guys, again, what's more valuable to you, that 10 grand you have sitting in your bank account, or saving yourself 5 years of headaches and stress and anxiety and fucking fear, right? Allowing you to get there a lot quicker? That's more valuable, and you have to understand that, because how much time have you already wasted? Right? Because what happens, guys, is you find something that you want to do. You have an expert, you have a mentor, you know this person can help you, but you double think it. You're getting ready to stroke that check, and you're like, well, maybe, fuck that. How much time have you already wasted? How many times have you told yourself, this is my fucking year? Guys, the year's almost gone. We're creeping up on 2022. I don't know what the fuck's happened with the time, but lately it's been going much, much quicker. Well, how many times are you going to tell yourself that this next year is your year? How many times are you going to say this year, yeah, rah, rah, you fucking hype yourself up, but all for what? All for nothing. At the end of the day, you end up doing nothing. So actually make it the fucking year. Make it the time. This is the fucking time. Go find people, man. Most of the people that you admire, most of the people that you see on social media or wherever you see them who are crushing it, most of these people offer some sort of guidance. They're all willing to help. Because at the end of the day, they believe everybody can win, and the world would be a much better place if everybody was winning, right? And everybody can win, but you have to go out there. You have to be willing to seek the knowledge, seek the information, and then after you seek it, use it, apply it, right? That's the key.
Absolutely. You got to stay the course at the end of the day. Anything good that never does not come overnight. It's come from years and years of trials and tribulations. I think for anything that's worthwhile out there. I mean, how many lottery ticket holders are still holding that $1 million? They say 99% of lottery tickets, they lose it the first year because they don't know how to control the money, because they didn't get the education on what that money actually brings to them. So, John touched on a good subject there. I mean, a lot of people are buying courses not knowing that the work is just beginning, right? You're now investing in yourself, but this isn't the whole get-rich-quick scheme game, guys. You're not going to buy a course, go sit on a beach, look at your laptop, pull it open, and just see tens of thousands of dollars coming into your account. You have to implement these skills, and you constantly have to, figure out ways to improvise and find ways to get over these humps. And that's what mentorship at the end of the day does, is it's going to give you those shortcuts that otherwise you'd be taking the guessing at, and probably making a lot of mistakes, which is going to cost you in the end a lot of money and time. So the money, like I said, at these days should be something that should be second into what is this saving me in time? How motivated are you to reach your goals? How motivated are you to lose that weight? How motivated are you to be able to have that freedom to spend maybe more time with your family, or go on vacation, or buy that house of your dreams, or a car, or whatever that goal is? So if those are things that are to you right now feel like they're far off and you can't touch them, right, mentoring is going to make sure that can be touched. And that's going to make sure it's going to set in motion a goal. It's going to set in motion timelines, milestones, where you can actually go out and get to those places a lot quicker than if you did it on your own. A support system is what it really is. And when you have the right mentors around you, you're surrounding yourself with like-minded people. When we touch on this in the family aspect of the 5 F's in HD lifestyle, is surrounding yourself with these 5 F's, and we're going to keep pounding these principles home, because these are things that have changed our lives, right, that when we implemented them, we've found that we've been able to cut out distractions. we've been able to really gain better perspective of ourselves internally, that self-awareness that we had, and we were able to prioritize what really matters in our life, and that's why the 5 F's has resonated with ourselves, and we want everyone to be part of this community to understand that mentorship was a key part in really in putting those 5 F's together when me and Jon first started on this campaign. And we want to bring that to you guys as the audience. Is the HG Lifestyle Show is all about bringing you guys value, and we live it every day as trying to get better in these 5 F categories, but zoning in on, if it's financials we're talking about today, or it's health that seems to be the biggest thing that's hurting in the 5 F's, or it's gaining the freedom, is figuring out what mentor is going to help you elevate to get to that goal in the 5 F category. So let's just go over it from the top. It's faith is number one. You have to have faith in yourself. So who's that person that is going to be able to provide that motivation? If you gotta call someone to give you a reason to get out of bed and go look at yourself in the mirror and think positively about yourself, you need to really reevaluate who's around you that's making you feel like you're not good enough. Okay, so first of all, figuring out yourself and where you stand on that, and then the family aspect. Obviously, the family is one of the key parts of our success. I mean, when we were kids, our parents really were our mentors. Right. So we were learning from them, but they probably didn't have the guidance that they were just doing the best they could with what they had
and what they knew.
Right. And parents, and just not to knock on family, but they're gonna play it safe. They're caring about your safety. Mom and dad want to know that you made it home that night. Right. They're not necessarily saying, hey, whoever's out there listening, it's like they're gonna play your goals very safe. So I wouldn't necessarily take financial advice from family, but more that they have your best interest in mind. They have your safety in mind. So that family element that we talk is really the ability to be able to spend time with our family. And then the third element, obviously fitness. Guys, when you're feeling good, when you're looking good, when your mental is there and you have your mental clarity there, that's, again, finding a mentor that touches on all those subjects is hard. And a lot of that has got to be done through self-development. You got to be reading, or these days we're doing audiobooks a lot. Me and Jon, he put me on the audiobook game. And that's been helping a lot of times. I don't have time to be flipping pages and highlighting, even though I like to do that because it resonates with me. But audio, I find, is a great way because we're all driving somewhere. We spend a lot of time in our cars driving to work, driving to a baseball game, whatever it may be. And the audio allows you to be 20, 30 minutes in traffic, but you were learning along the way, right? And then the financials, guys, there's a million different financial ways to get to the goal, get to, whatever that dollar figure is that's going to set you in that financial freedom. But ideally, we're all after that freedom. So all those 4 F's to get to the financial bracket, I would recommend having a mentor for each one of those areas, okay? To have that clarity and also be able to expedite the time to get to that freedom bracket, which we're all after. And that's the freedom to do what we want, when we want, with whom we want, whenever we want. That's ultimate freedom. When you can get up in the morning and not have to answer to anybody. You could be anywhere in the world. You could turn your phone off. You could be on the beach technically if that's what your goal is. But ideally, setting up that plan is where the mentorship comes in place, and then executing on that plan. Because you can read all day and have audiobooks, but if you're not implementing on the plan, you're really just spinning your wheels. And that's what 99% of people do, is they buy courses without the understanding that now the work starts. It's time to work. I think people think entrepreneurship is on the beach sipping pina coladas, and it doesn't work like that. You actually have to go put in those reps, just like at the gym. You got to put those reps in at the job site. You got to put that time in with your family. You know what I mean? You got to put that ongoing motivation in front of you to really execute on all the goals that you might have for this life. And I think most dying people that are out there that are on their deathbeds, or they regret not utilizing the time they had when they had it. You know what I mean? So don't waste it. And that's what we're trying to say, is time is more valuable than money at the end of the day. There's no question in my mind. And it's taken me almost 40 years to understand that principle. And now we're really trying to execute and give that value back to our audience.
Yeah, I mean, Matt just touched on pretty much all of it right there, guys. But listen, at the end of the day, that freedom, which is the ultimate F in the 5F fundamental, that's not going to come with the information and the knowledge that you know now. It's not. So the first step is to just look at yourself in the mirror and just understand that you don't fucking know it all. You don't know it all. You don't have all the skills today needed, right? I don't have all the fucking skills needed. But what it is I'm consistently getting better in those skills. I'm understanding what are the skills required for me to be a better father, a better business owner, a better leader, a better salesperson, a better closer. What skills do I need to do better there? Fuck, I'm trying to learn what skills are better to do this podcasting shit. I still don't feel like I have it down, but that's not going to stop me or hold me back from doing it or trying, right? Because the moment you let that hold you back, then fuck off. You're done. Quit trying. Quit bullshitting yourself. Or go watch a podcast. Go listen to somebody that you admire. Okay? If you can't afford to invest into it today, don't let that be what stops you, man. There's so much fucking information out there. One of my first mentors was Tony Robbins. Why? How? Because I read all this motherfucker's books. I YouTubed all this fucking video shit. I didn't have to personally, I felt like I knew the dude. Matter of fact, they got to the point to when I listened to one of his speeches, I felt like he was talking to me. Like, oh shit, he knows I'm watching, right? But that's the power of it. So don't give yourself that bullshit excuse. I can't afford it today. I can't do this. Fuck that, man. It costs what? $10 for a fucking book? $10 for a book, $20 for a book that's full of so much fucking information that you can use today to get a little bit further. And you're telling me you can't spend that $20, but I guarantee you if the homies invite you to the club, you'll put aside $20-$30. You'll even count the beers, how many you can buy. Fuck it, let's go. That's on you. That's on you, right? It is going to require some sort of sacrifice, absolutely, but it's fucking worth the sacrifice if you're committed and you're willing to use that information again. So, guys, I'm going to keep preaching it. I will never stop preaching it. And listen, I'm not sitting here preaching it because I believe that I know it all. Fuck, dude, I know I'm far from knowing it all. But I also know that I'm willing to learn it. I'm willing to understand it. I'm willing to admit what I don't know and go out and find somebody that does know it, right? And, dude, I believe in myself enough. I have enough confidence in myself that I know that if there's something that I want to master, I will fucking master it. And I'll eventually be a challenge to the teacher, right? But that's just the confidence in me because I've done it multiple times, so I believe I can keep doing it. Now, some shit's going to be harder than others, right? Because I'm not that organized person. I'm more of that take action and speak and, make moves type person. I'm not the guy to put together softwares and, collect the data and all that shit. That shit goes way over me. But guess what? We hire people who are smart at that shit. And it ain't cheap to hire those type of fucking people, but we hire them, we learn from them, they do their thing, and they create value to us. So you got to be willing to go out there and seek it, baby. That's what it's about.
Yeah, and speaking of seeking, I mean, really what we can offer you guys as the audience, what we truly believe in is the real estate investment as a pathway to that freedom bracket. The Home Assistance Accelerator, the HAA program, is what we are currently mentoring our students and our clients on right now, and we feel that real estate is still, it's a time, proven strategy. Crypto is something that we're going to bring to you at a future date, but right now we're sticking with what we know and what we've seen bring financial freedom to people around us. As you can see in this last year, the market has really jumped to all-time highs. Now people are leveraging the money out of their homes now, because rates are at an all-time low, 2.5%, to basically free them from the burden of having to go to a job.
Right.
At the end of the day, if you're working a 9 to 5, you're trying to figure out a way out of that strategy, and the HAA is that way out. So people that are out there that are looking to buy a home, we're changing the mindset of thinking of a home as a consumer item, of just buying a home just to have a roof over your head. Grant Cardone says, rent where you live and buy where you rent. So what he's saying in that is your home is a fixed expense at the end of the day, and you can look at that as a liability or an asset, depending on if it's taking more money from your pockets than it's giving you, that's a liability, okay? So we're changing people's mindset, and that's what you get with the mentorship. We're going to hold your hand through the process. a lot of people out there are getting stuck feeling like they can't buy a home right now because they're competing with the market. There's big institutions right now buying up, big REITs out there of homes and competing with investors, and it's very hard to do that when people can close without any contingencies. So if you're one of those people out there that are looking to get into a home and you see that as an opportunity to get out of the rat race, you're in the right place. The HAA program is going to get you into a home with no money out of pocket. We're going to go get you the grants that you need as a first-time home buyer, so you're actually not out of pocket any money. You're also going to walk into the home with equity. So similar to a new build right now, guys, you can actually walk into a home. We'll actually buy it for you. That's the difference of what our company does. We actually buy the home before you get in there, and we're going to make these customizations for you so you can actually get into the home of your dreams and walk into it with equity. We're going to try to cover your closing costs. And we could go on and on about the HAA program, but I'd rather you guys set up a call with our team. Let's talk about how and create a plan, because Airbnb has really been a disruptor in the housing industry where you can make money passively ongoing through housing arbitrage is one way to do that. But we're going to create a plan that you can execute in the future that gets you in the next year. We could say, hey, if you can buy a house, let's say consecutively one house a month for the next year, ideally making $1,000 to $2,000 per home, you could actually passively make money to get you in a position to quit your day job. And that's what we're looking to do, is get your side income to replace your primary income, where you don't have to show up to that 9 to 5. And we really believe in the real estate market as one of those places to do that. And the HAA program is what we're mentoring on currently. So if you're interested, definitely click the link in our bio. We have a full free webinar that you can actually go in there and really learn a ton of information and schedule a call. We'd love to answer questions and figure out, make sure it's a good fit for you. But ideally what we're trying to do is bring people to that financial freedom bracket, and that's what we're offering in a mentorship currently. We find you funding, whether it's privately. So I don't care what your situation is. We have a solution for everyone out there. We can create a game plan. So if you're a motivated individual that wants to make a change, I definitely would say reach out to our team. Me and Jon spend tons of money with mentors of our own learning this information so we can implement it for you guys, and that way you guys have an opportunity to basically work hand in hand with us on a mentorship level. So that's why we wanted to preach so hard about today about the mentorship, because there's just so much value that we've gained from it, and we want to share that with you guys.
Yeah, for sure, man. But I don't want anybody to misunderstand and think, oh, here he goes. Matty Leverage just pitched us. That's not what we're trying to do. It may sound like a pitch, but it's just because we just believe in this so cold-heartedly, man. Look, you don't got to give us no money. That's not what we're saying. I'm just saying just pay attention. Pay attention to what we're doing and how we can continue to do it and bring a ton of value to you. So, guys, I know that it's, the holidays are coming up. Thanksgiving is coming up. So I just want to take, 5 seconds before we say goodbye and I want to tell you guys to look at everything that you have in your life right now and be truly grateful for it, man. You can't get what you want out of life if all you do is bitch about the shit you got right now. Fuck off. Quit being such a negative fucking asshole. Your girl left you, boo-hoo, man. Go find a new one. Or maybe look at yourself. Maybe she left you for a fucking reason. Right? Are you out of shape? Are you fucking lazy? Are you a broke piece of shit? Don't blame her, right? Maybe you got to look in the mirror, okay? Take the time now to better yourself, right? Be grateful for the fact that you're even alive, because if you're alive today, guess what? That means you can go seek the mentorship. You can go hit a fucking gym. You can go make a career change to make more money, right? So I love the holidays, man. This is a good time for me because it used to not be. It used to be a horrible time, fucking stressing out about what I'm going to do, how I'm going to get presents, and go, fuck, man. Just thinking about the stress I felt those days. But today, man, I fucking love it because everybody around me gets treated. And you can do that too, man. You can do that too. So for me, man, I don't have much more else I want to say. Just be careful out there. Don't get too drunk. Don't party too hardy. Just stay focused, stay committed. Any last words, Matty Leverage?
Yeah, I would just say, I think was it Frisella that said, guys that come up with have a plan B, they're not going to make it, and you guys need to come up with plan A and stick to plan A. And whatever that plan A is for you, you just need to make that commitment to yourself that you are in a position and you're in control, and only you can really carve out what your future looks like, and that's based on making the right changes and implementing on those changes. So whether it's the HAA program you're trying to get after, or you're trying to learn more about e-commerce or crypto, or whatever the space is, you're trying to start your own business, I encourage everyone out there to seek mentorship. It's worked miracles for us, me and John, and that's why we want to make sure you guys are aware of it, that this is really what we're talking about. We're going into the holiday season. Be thankful for what you do have, but at the same time working towards where you're trying to get, and never giving up. Like I said, get knocked down 7, get up 8. We've all been in that situation. No one's really happy with where they're at. Everyone wants that immediate gratification, but understand it takes hard work and dedication, and really getting a clarity of where your focus needs to lie. So figuring out what that skill set is that you truly offer the market, and really zeroing in on what those skill sets are is what you need to figure out. So become an expert in your field, and like I said, seek mentorship if that's an area that you're trying to figure out as well, to figure out what that passion is, because people can be passionate and be broke because they're not in the right industry. So figuring out where it all kind of comes together, and mentorship can give a lot of clarity and focus on that. So yeah, have a great holiday, everyone out there. We're obviously here for you guys, making sure that we can bring as much value to you ongoing. So looking forward to seeing you guys on the other side of this.
Yeah, man. HG lifestyle. It's a mindset, baby. Make sure you adopt it. We out.